also becoming a cultural one that enriches the life of our two peoples who share universal values and philosophy. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, I would not miss to refer the driving force of our alliances over history, Korean-American community. Starting from only 102 Koreans searching for the American dream in Hawaii in 1903, that small, hopeful community has grown to an incredible population of 2.6 million Korean Americans, including 4 members of the U.S. House of Representatives. I'd like to point out again the first Korean American Congresswoman, Marilyn Strickland, is with us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a famous saying by the author of Little Prince, Saint-Exupéry in French, in Korean, only from the alliance of the one, working with and through the other, are great things born. The U.S. decision to come to the help of Korea during the war and to forge a bilateral alliance is one of the greatest decisions by the United States. It directly led to the creation of Korea's robust economy, strong democracy, and vibrant culture, which represent our shared value of democracy, freedom, human rights, and rule of law. As a Consul General of the Republic of Korea, I will continue to build a bridge among Koreans, Korean Americans, and the Pacific Northwest communities to fulfill the vision of our alliance and look forward to our joint efforts in pursuit of this noble goal. Finally, I invite you all to join us today's fashion show and cultural performances of traditional and contemporary harmony and collaboration. I really hope you take with you your beautiful memories of our enduring friendship and partnership. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
하원지 총경사님, thank you, Consul Generals. And I would like to introduce the next guest speaker, State Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland, represents Washington 10th Congressional District, which covers Pierce County, Thurston County, and part of the Mason County of District of Washington. Please, could you give a senator a warm round of applause?
Well, thank you very much. It is an honor to be here today and to celebrate Korean culture through the Hanbok Fashion Show. And I just want to give a very special thank you, and I want to honor you, Consul General. It is amazing to make history as the first woman to do something, and you are doing that, representing us so well. So thank you very much. So her leadership and the selection of a woman in this post is really a testament to her skill, to her ability to promote Korea and American relations, but also to find a way for us to forge stronger relationships. And you heard her eloquently describe Korean culture and the history. When I think about being a Korean American woman, an African American woman, I often tell people that I will always be a proud American woman, but I'm also always a daughter of Korea. I was born in Seoul. I moved here when I was 1.5 years old, and my mother and father's experience in the rural South in the 1960s wasn't always a positive one. I think about K-dramas and how they are so apparent right now. When I was in Seoul as part of President Biden's delegation to welcome President Yoon when he was sworn in, we had an opportunity to tour Netflix Seoul in Korea. And I think about being a little girl and my mother going to the video store and getting stacks and stacks of videos to watch her K-dramas. She had the Gold Star rewinding machine. And now today, we turn on Netflix, we pick from a menu of selections because Korean culture is in fact American culture now. It's a very proud moment for us. As mentioned earlier, this represents 140 years of diplomatic relations and the signing of the Korea-U.S. Treaty of Amity and Commerce between the Republic of Korea and the United States. And this milestone is important for many reasons, but for me, this is really about strengthening the relationship and recognizing the culture and the history of Korea. For the longest time, a lot of Americans only knew Korea through the TV show MASH. And that was a very small fraction of our history and our culture. People knew nothing about the Joseon dynasty and all the amazing stories that we have to tell. And the recent rash of anti-American hate crimes makes it more urgent now than ever that we amplify our voices, that we tell our stories, that we're proud of our Korean heritage, and that we let the world know who we are, what we stand for, and the many contributions that we make around the world and here in the United States. Yes, that's a good applause line. So there were 3 Korean American women elected to Congress in 2020, but I take pride in saying that I was the first one because my race was called the first. And when I was sworn in on January 3rd, 2021, I wore hanbok on the House floor, and I was very intentional about that. It was during the pandemic, and we were unable to have our family members join us at Washington, D.C. And on a very crowded House floor on C-SPAN TV, it was going to be hard for my friends and my family, and especially my 93-year-old mother, to see me. So I wanted to wear hanbok on the House floor so she could see me. I had no idea it would take off the way it did. But I also wanted to send a message that the U.S. House of Representatives is the people's house, and it belongs to all people, including Korean Americans and including people of Korean descent. After I wore hanbok, I had no idea it was going to blow up on social media the way it did. And for those of us who live with hanbok and understand it and have had it part of our lives, I've worn it when I was 100 days old, when I celebrated my first birthday, my second birthday. Women wear them to weddings and anniversaries and really big special events. And I knew that being sworn into Congress, making history, was probably the biggest stage of my life. So it was my honor to do it. So today, as you watch this amazing hanbok fashion show, and we just got a little taste of it early on, you're going to be dazzled by the fabric, the style, the way they hold their head up with pride, and just a really interesting way to understand Korean culture and history. So I leave you with this message. When I think about my experience as an African American woman and a Korean American woman, it is incumbent upon us to find ways to work together. There is a system in place that seeks to divide communities of color, and we are better than that. We must work together and be together and lift each other up. So thank you for the chance to be here today. I look forward to this amazing fashion show. And as I said earlier, I'm a proud African American woman, but I will always and forever be a daughter of Korea. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. Our next guest, Congressman of Washington's 9th District, Adam Smith, has provided us with video remarks on his behalf. Let's take a look.
Hello, I'm Adam Smith. I'm the congressman who represents the 9th District of the state of Washington. And I just want to congratulate the Korean American community on 140 years of relations between South Korea and the United States. It is an incredibly important relationship. There's a lot going on in that part of the world. Our partnership between the U.S. and South Korea is crucial to keeping the peace and growing prosperity globally. I'm also incredibly thrilled to have such a robust Korean American community in the 9th District and in the Puget Sound region. The Korean American community is actively engaged in our community at every level, in business, in politics, and education. We've worked closely together on a lot of issues to improve the quality of life. So I appreciate the opportunity to say a couple words to you. I understand you're having a fashion show this evening to help celebrate that 140-year history of the relationship between Korea and the United States. Again, sorry I could not be there in person, but I'm glad I had the opportunity to say a couple words, and I really look forward to continuing to work with the Korean American community in the Puget Sound region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman Adam Smith. I would like to introduce our next guest speaker, Washington Secretary of State, Steve Hobbs. Please could you give Steve Hobbs a warm round of applause.
Thank you very much. Good evening. And on behalf of the the great state of Washington, I want to thank Consul General for inviting me to attend the Hanbok fashion show at this amazing Museum of Flight. I'm grateful for this opportunity to celebrate with you the 140th anniversary of our nation's diplomatically, economically, and culturally strong and fruitful relationship. In 1882, the United States and Korea Joseon Dynasty established diplomatic relations under the Treaty of Peace, Amity, Commerce, and Navigation. The first U.S. diplomatic envoy arrived in Korea in 1883. From 1882 to the present day, and during times of peace and strife, the Republic of Korea and the United States have continuously shared a deep commitment to democracy, freedom, human rights, security, and prosperity that has inspired nations and peoples around the world. Washington's strategic location in the Pacific Rim enables a special relationship with the Republic of Korea, which in fact is Washington's fourth largest trading partner. Our commercial partnerships include industry products and services such as aerospace, computers, electronic devices, industrial machinery, and agriculture. The emergence of the Republic of Korea as a global leader has led to increasingly dynamic U.S. and Republic of Korea alliance focused on the future-oriented opportunities in energy, health, climate change, cyber technology, and I think I speak for all Washingtonians, a second season of Squid Games on Netflix. And I just want to say, and this is a campaign promise, that if Netflix cancels Squid Games, the full weight of the Secretary of State will be upon them. Thank you. You can clap at that. That's okay. There are more than 180 overseas Koreans who live in the 5 states over which Consul General in Seattle has jurisdiction. More than 85,000 of them live here in King County. In September, my office welcomed the Consul General to the state capitol in Olympia to discuss partnership with the Korean American community, and we had some of that fine wine that you were talking about. Washington wine, by the way. I hope your people will buy more of it. The spirit of goodwill and friendship we share inspires me to imagine the heights both nations can achieve over the next 140 years. Thank you.
Thank you to Steve Hobbs, our Washington Secretary of State. Our last guest speaker tonight is the United States Army Lieutenant General, I Corps Commanding General Xavier T. Brunson. Please, a round of applause for the Commanding General.
Counselor General, thank you so much for having me here. Thank you for taking the time to come see me in my office. And as you saw from that picture there, my fashion is not quite as good as that of the Hanbok. But we may change that later on this evening. I won't speak of the 140 years, but what I will share with you is these 70 years that mean something to me as a soldier. And I won't be so funny. I'm a big fan of Squid Games, but I won't be funny here tonight because I'll also tell you a story that means something to my family as it relates to Korea. You see, I sent 2 daughters to Korea to teach English, and Korea sent me 1 daughter back who sits here with me tonight. And Korea is also caring for my other daughter who's still there teaching English in Korea. That's the kind of friends that Koreans are. That's the kind of Americans that Korean Americans are. They care for their neighbors. They care for their neighbors' kids, in my case, both my daughters. And they continue to march forward. The influence that Koreans have on American culture is huge. I know a lot of BTS songs largely because of my daughters. I won't tell you who my favorite member of BTS is. Ask me later, I'll tell you. But what I would tell you seriously is that 70 years ago, on that continent of Korea, set forth a battle that cost some 36,000 lives. That's U.S. lives. But the Korean people came from that and were good for that investment of blood and life and sacrifice. And you heard the Counselor General talk about all the things that Korea is, and that's for the world. So I will say simply that there are friends, and then there are friends. There are friends with whom you share an ironclad, unbreakable alliance and relationship with, who you look to when times are hard. And that's Korea for my Army. And that's Korean Americans in our service. A wise man once said that friendship is essential to the soul. And I am so thankful for the friendship amongst our nations, which causes both our nations to grow well and to prosper and to always be able to look to one another when things get hard. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your memorable remarks and for celebrating Korea with us tonight. Last item of note before we introduce the fashion show and entertainment lineup, South Korea is in the running to host the Busan Expo in 2030. This is a cultural event for countries to come together in the spirit of unity while showcasing the spectacular beauty of Busan. If South Korea is chosen, it will be only the 7th country ever to have hosted all 3 major global events, following the 1988 Olympics and the FIFA World Cup of 2002.
2030년에 부산 엑스포 모습이 기대가 많이 되는데요. Let's watch the video how Expo will look like.
Korea has overcome so many obstacles and achieved remarkable economic growth. And now it has transformed into a country with cutting-edge technology and vibrant culture. Without Busan, Korea as we know today would not exist. A lot of global events have been held in Korea. And then there is 2030. Busan has been at the forefront of Korea's economic development. Now it is ready to host the World Expo 2030 and join hands with the international community to present a blueprint for a better future for all mankind. With the ongoing global crises, the World Expo 2030 Busan will be a turning point for mankind. An opportunity to discuss the shared vision for emerging technologies and sustainable development. A festival that people from all around the world can enjoy anytime and anywhere through digital platforms. Through global solidarity and cooperation, we will play a bridging role between developing and developed countries in charting a new course for the prosperity of mankind. Busan is the city that envisions the global pivotal state initiative of Korea, upholding the values of freedom, peace, prosperity, and human rights. Let's work together to build a better future by sharing experience and knowledge, transforming our world, navigating toward a better future. World Expo 2030, Busan, Korea.
It's amazing to see tremendous developments in how they have been hosting international events. 이런 발전이 가능했던 이유는요, 한미 간의 전략적 동맹 덕분이라고 생각이 되는데요. I believe these developments were made possible thanks to the strategic alliance between Korea and the United States. I'm very excited to introduce tonight's performance, One Way to the Partnership, featuring a long history of Korea and US meeting modern time and moving into the future. 1부는 빛, 소리와 춤, One for All로 구성이 되어 있고요. 2부는 빛, 세계로, 미래로, All for One의 이야기로 구성이 되어 있습니다.
In our prelude to Royal Korean Fashions, the Granada Band will perform Kook Pop, a flavorful mix of Korean traditional music and Western pop. Grenada hopes to popularize kugak music, a modern and traditional fusion of pansori and pop vocals. Active Sona will follow, a K-dance performance that combines both traditional and modern dance. Tonight, they will perform Dance of Light. Active Sona performs across numerous dance genres, including popping, vogue, and hip-hop dance. Please join me in a round of applause to welcome Grenada and Active Sona.
어느 날 흩날리는 꽃잎 사이를 지나 무심하게 떠올리듯 너를 그려본다. 또르르 뺨위로 눈물이 기억을 따라 하루 새기다 내 마음에 적어놓은 그리움 하루 새기다 가려니 머물다가 고요한 슬픔을 딛고 하루 지나 또 누군가 사랑할 수 있는 날이 올까. 하루 새기다 내 마음에 적어놓은 그리움 하루 새기다 가려니 머물다가 개치 않아질 때까지 감추고 시끄러운 맘나 질 때까지 만나 하루 싶을 땐 어디로든 가고 있죠. 깜빡이를 켜고 큰 꿈으로 달려가다가 보면 어째 즐거운 일탈이 생길 것만 같죠. 바람 따라 흔들리는 불안했던 걱정 다 버리고 둥둥실 춤을 춰요. Oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking 한 일탈이면 좋아요. Oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking 한 일탈이면 더 좋아요. 느슨하게 풀고 숨을 쉬어봐요. 혼돈 생긴 듯이 하루를 쓰고 쉬고 있을 땐 일상의 루틴을 끄고 있죠. 스트레스 따윈 받지 않고 가지 않고 지내면 어째 신나는 일탈이 생길 것만 같죠. 마음 따라 움직이는 고민하던 근심 다 날리고 둥둥실 춤을 춰요. Oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking 한 일탈이면 좋아요. Oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking 한 일탈이면 더 좋아요. Oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking 한 일탈이면 좋아요. Oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking, oh my shocking 한 일탈이면 더 좋아요.
I want you to want me, but you just wanna love me for the day, and I can't just walk away, even though I know you're trouble, babe. So I will take my time, going slow, can't get too involved. You got a face that I just can't say no to, just can't say no to you. You know I want you, baby, you know I do. I'll give you my heart. you. You ain't no good for me, I know it's true. But you don't have to pay, 'cause I do it for the thrill, for the rush. I do it for the pain, for your touch. Well, I only when it's too much. If I survive, baby, you're the one. You're the one. I feel like I'm walking the tightrope of love in your circus, babe. If I were to fall, it'd be my last day. Even though you're right under me, so I'ma take my time. Go with the flow, can't get too involved. You got a face that I just can't say no to. Just can't say no to you. You know I want you, baby. You know I do. I'll give you my heart and the rest is up to you. You ain't no good for me, I know it's true. But you don't have to pay, 'cause I do it for the thrill, for the rush. I do it for the pain, for your touch. Well, I only when it's too much. If I survive, maybe you're the one. You're the one. You're the one. You're the one.
갑자기 후끈 달아올랐습니다. 이것이 바로 한국의 문화가 아닌가 싶습니다. Once again, please give a round of applause to Granada and Active Soda. 여러분 공연 안무 도중에 요 표시가 있었어요. 이거 혹시 아세요? 요거 아십니까? 이게 무슨 뜻이에요? 설명 좀 해주세요.
I think it means love.
Love. Korean way to say love. 자, 다음으로 넘어가도록 하겠습니다.
In my mind, the entertainment tonight is following the theme of East meets West, traditional themes with modern flair. Now, on to our main event. Kumdanje is pleased to present hanbok fashions amid traditional dance from the Hanyuri dance team. The design team has prepared handcrafted garments that would have been worn by kings and queens for celebratory and formal occasions. These pieces also all incorporate the 5 traditional colors of Korea. Kumdanje was founded in 1993 by designer Lee Il-sun. They have been protecting the integrity of hanbok for 30 years. And for our grand finale, we have several wonderful guests. Consul General Ha Eun-ji, Seattle's first female Consul General on behalf of the Republic of Korea. Cheryl Myers, the first person from the Korean American community to serve as Oregon's Deputy Secretary of State. And more, Greg Caldwell, a Peace Corps volunteer teaching English in Jeollabuk-do province. He is actively involved with the Korean community in Portland, serving on the boards of several Korean organizations. And last but certainly not least, Xavier T. Brunson, commander of I Corps, who is responsible for the security of the Korean Peninsula and maintains very deep historical roots with the Republic of Korea.
패션쇼 마지막에는요, 양국 국기를 들고 이 네 분께서 나오실 겁니다. 한국 국기는 우리 서은지 총영사님과 오레곤에서 명예영사님으로 영사관으로 계신 그레그 카드웰 영사님께서, 그리고 미국 국기는 브루스 1군당 사령관님과 첼스 메이어 오레곤 행정관님께서 각국의 국기를 들고 입장하실 텐데 여러분 큰 박수 보내주시길 바라겠습니다. Let's have a look at how beautiful they are. Please enjoy the traditional dance performance for Hanuri Dance Company, which the colors and design of the hanbok fit so well, and the traditional dance. So we invite you, the Feast of the Light, through the beautiful traditional beauty of Korea.
So many secrets to be found amid the falling snow. Maybe I'm falling down. Tell me, should I touch the ground? Maybe I won't make a sound in the darkness all around. The silence of a winter's night brings memories I hold inside, remembering a blue moonlight upon the fallen The silence of a winter's night brings memories I hold inside, remembering a blue moonlight upon the fallen
across from paradise, and I landed in the jungle. And I spent the whole time lost in the clouds. I lost my body in the summer storm, somewhere over the ocean. And I think my mind may also be gone. Something more than a steady hand is what I need to borrow, just to level it out and make a new plan. Things you made just to fall apart, to tremble and cower. So I pray my eyes and ears will be last. Now flow through. I see nobody go anymore. I'm gonna start to bleed on the floor.